Matt Armstrong repaired so many cars this year that at one point, his garage stopped looking like a workshop and started looking like a supercar showroom after a natural disaster. We're talking crushed carbon fiber, bent aluminium, exploded airbags, cars insurance companies already gave up on. Rolls-Royce, Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, Porsche, and yes, even Bugatti-level insanity. And the crazy part? Most of these cars were supposed to never drive again. But Matt didn't just fix them, he brought them back better. And today, we're breaking down Matt Armstrong's best rebuilds of 2025. But not in order. Not yet. Because to understand how insane this year was, you need to see the damage first. Matt started 2025 exactly how you'd expect, with a car nobody else wanted to touch. A Rolls-Royce. Not scratched, not lightly damaged. This thing had been destroyed, front end smashed, crash structure compromised. Suspension arms bent completely out of alignment. A Rolls-Royce that had lost everything that made it. A Rolls-Royce. The grille was shattered. Radar sensors ripped out. Cameras destroyed on impact. Inside the car, luxury systems offline. Warning lights everywhere. Electronics that refuse to cooperate. And this is where pressure kicks in. Because rebuilding a Rolls-Royce isn't about speed. It's about expectation. Panel gaps must be perfect. The doors must close with that soft, vacuum-like silence. The suspension must glide like it's floating. One vibration, one rattle, one incorrect sound, and the internet will notice. Matt stripped it all down anyway, measured the chassis, checked the subframes, verified suspension pickup points millimeter by millimeter, luxury wiring looms repaired by hand, sensors recalibrated, systems brought online one by one, nothing rushed, nothing guessed. And slowly, the Rolls came back to life. No creaks, no errors, no compromises. When it finally rolled out of the garage, it didn't just look right, it felt right. The Rolls-Royce was saved, and right there, people knew 2025 was going to be different. Because Matt didn't slow down. He went straight into Ferrari territory. And Ferrari rebuilds don't forgive mistakes. The first Ferrari looked like it had hit something solid at serious speed, front-end impact, crash structure destroyed, cooling system completely wiped out, radiators crushed, fans shattered, carbon fiber split open. A Ferrari most rebuilders would instantly walk away from. Ferrari parts are expensive, Ferrari electronics are sensitive, Ferrari software does not like non-factory conditions. But Matt saw potential. The teardown revealed even more damage. Hidden brackets bent behind panels, sensors ripped out with wiring damage. Mounting points shifted just enough to cause long-term issues. This wasn't just about replacing parts, this was about undoing violence. Then came the electronics, fault codes everywhere, modules refusing to communicate, calibration processes failing again and again. This is where most rebuilds quietly die. But Matt stayed in it. Hours of diagnostics, trial and error solutions, reprogramming attempts that didn't work until one finally did. And then, the Ferrari woke up. No warning lights, no limp mode, everything talking properly. One Ferrari saved, but that wasn't enough, because another Ferrari entered the garage. This one had been hit from the rear, hard. The impact traveled through the car, subframe alignment destroyed, drivetrain geometry compromised, exhaust twisted under stress. This wasn't cosmetic damage. This was the kind of damage that ruins how a car feels forever. Matt tore it down completely. Measurements everywhere. Alignment corrections. Components replaced that looked fine to the eye but weren't fine under load. Because on a Ferrari, almost right is still wrong. And after countless adjustments, after endless checks, the Ferrari drove straight again. Steering perfect. Balance restored. Confidence back. 2 Ferraris. Both written off. Both reborn, and Matt was just getting started. Next came Lamborghini, low, wide, aggressive, and completely wrecked. This Lamborghini didn't just crash, it absorbed the impact violently. Carbon fiber shattered into pieces, suspension components snapped, active aero systems destroyed. One wrong measurement here and the entire car would be ruined permanently. Matt slowed everything down. Carbon repairs came first. Suspension geometry recalculated from scratch, panel alignment checked obsessively, because Lamborghinis don't hide mistakes, they exaggerate them. The rebuild took time, nothing rushed, nothing assumed. And when the Lamborghini finally rolled out, it didn't look repaired, It looked angrier than before. Lower stance, sharper lines, pure aggression restored, another impossible rebuild completed. But 2025 wasn't about one-off victories. It was about momentum. Then came McLaren, and McLaren always brings problems. This wasn't just crash damage. This was electronic warfare, modules locked, systems refusing to reset, fault codes that didn't make sense. Mechanical repairs were challenging, but manageable. Electronics, a nightmare. British engineering mixed with crash damage creates issues nobody documents. Hours turned into days. Diagnostics led nowhere. Reprogramming failed repeatedly. This is where rebuilders quit. But Matt didn't. He stayed locked in, rechecked everything, retried systems, refused to accept defeat. And then, it worked. Errors cleared. Systems synced. The McLaren came back online. Another exotic saved. And by now, something had changed. Matt's garage no longer felt like a workshop. It felt like a collection. Ferraris parked beside Rolls-Royce. Lamborghinis next to McLarens. Multiple projects overlapping. Huge money tied up everywhere. This wasn't just content anymore. This was a full exotic rebuild operation. And that's when Matt took on Porsche. The Porsche was different. Precision built. Track focused. Zero tolerance for error. And this one had taken a serious hit. Structural damage affected balance. Suspension pickup points shifted. Alignment completely compromised. One miscalculation and the car would never feel right again. Matt went deeper than usual. Frame measurements, suspension geometry corrections, test fitting again and again. This wasn't about making it drive. It was about making it drive like nothing had ever happened. And when it finally hit the road, perfect. That's when the comments changed. This isn't luck anymore. But the year still wasn't done. Because sitting above everything else was one final rebuild. The one nobody expected. The one that carried real risk. And before we get there, quick pause. If you enjoy insane rebuilds, if you love watching impossible cars return from the dead, and if Matt Armstrong style builds are your thing, subscribe, because projects like this don't happen often. And what's coming next is on another level. The final tier, the rebuild that stopped people mid-scroll, the one everyone called crazy, the hypercar level project, Bugatti territory. Even touching something like this raises the stakes instantly. Parts availability becomes a nightmare. Precision becomes unforgiving. Mistakes become permanent. The damage was severe. Advanced systems everywhere. Engineering beyond normal logic. Components designed to never be repaired. This wasn't a rebuild, it was surgery. Matt changed his entire approach. Slower pace, double checks. No shortcuts. Every decision calculated. Every move deliberate. Because hypercars don't forgive confidence. They punish it. Piece by piece, the car came back. Systems powered on. Errors disappeared. The impossible became real. When it finally worked, it wasn't just impressive. It was a statement, and that's when everything clicked. Matt Armstrong didn't just rebuild cars in 2025. He leveled up. Rolls-Royce luxury restored. Multiple Ferraris saved. Lamborghini aggression rebuilt. McLaren electronics conquered. Porsche precision perfected. Hypercar madness survived. Every single car damaged. Every single car written off. Every single car saved. And now, Matt has a garage full of exotic cars most people will never see together in one place. But here's the scary part. He's not slowing down. He's not playing safe. He's not stopping at what worked. He's going full mode. Bigger crashes, rarer cars, higher stakes, more pressure, more risk, more impossible rebuilds. 2025 wasn't the peak. It was the beginning. Because when someone proves they can save the impossible, the only direction left is harder, riskier, crazier. And if this is what Matt Armstrong achieved in 1 year, just imagine what comes next.